In Greenville County, new details from the sheriff about what he says went wrong when 2 deputies were shot in a training exercise last week.
7 News' Taylor Farmer is joining us live tonight with what we've learned today. Taylor.
Amy and Gordon, Sheriff Hobart Lewis says that both deputies have been released from the hospital and are expected to make full recoveries. He called the shooting terrible and traumatic and says it should have never happened.
This was just a failure, a very unfortunate failure, and not a very common one.
Last week, members of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office SWAT team were training inside a vacant building off Wadehampton Boulevard. Sheriff Lewis says deputies were practicing clearing rooms when one of them fired a 12-gauge beanbag shotgun round at 2 deputies entering the room, believing it was loaded with blanks. Instead, it was live breaching ammunition that hit the 2 deputies. Sheriff Lewis telling us one was struck in the leg, severing an artery, and the other under the arm.
We now know those rounds were inappropriately stored by us, were not correctly verified using a proper test before use. Our internal investigation revealed the round was tested by shooting what we thought was a blank shotgun round into a berm from a distance too great to verify that the round was not a blank, but rather was used for breaching.
Sheriff Lewis says the live shotgun bullets someone accidentally used were stored in a desk drawer. He tells us bullets are usually labeled, separated, and stored in another room. He believes getting them out of a desk was a rushed call and unacceptable.
You got 2 deputies in the hospital. Let's get to the bottom of it. I think my immediate reaction was, let's figure out how this happened and make sure it doesn't happen again. That's our responsibility, for sure.
Sheriff Lewis says it was a tough conversation talking with the injured deputies' families at the hospital, one he can never prepare for.
I plainly told them this is a failure on me as the sheriff of Greenville County, and we will get you answers. We'll do everything we can. We want to make sure they're okay.
When the shooting happened, Lewis says medics on site rushed in immediately and stopped the bleeding. He credited them for saving the deputies' lives, along with the doctors at Greenville Memorial Hospital.
Do a tremendous job, and we would be having a much different conversation today had it not been for their actions.
Sheriff Lewis says the department has stopped using shotguns in their biweekly training for now. He also added that SLED has not stepped in as there is no criminal investigation. Live in Greenville County, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
Taylor, thank you. And Sheriff Lewis says some staff were placed on administrative leave for wellness reasons, but so far no disciplinary action has been taken. All deputies involved returned to work on Monday, besides the 2 injured. And is facing charges accused of trying to steal a police car in Spartanburg. Officers say they got a call about a man attacking and threatening customers at the Westgate Mall yesterday. Police tell us the mall security removed the suspect, who has not been named, from the mall, and that's when allegedly he tried to carjack vehicles. Authorities say they tried to arrest him, which led to the suspect getting into one of the police cars. Officers arrested the suspect, and he's been sent to a hospital for a mental health evaluation. Currently, no word on charges. A young boy who President Trump met with earlier this year and made an honorary member of the Secret Service made a stop at the State Law Enforcement Division today. Do you remember DJ Daniel? He's battling terminal brain cancer and has been sworn in now as an honorary SLED agent. He was joined by his dad, and they got this tour from the chief of SLED, Mark Keel, and Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett. He says law enforcement gives him the strength to walk today.
The love and support, and every time they put that uniform on, because every time they put that uniform, it gives me more life.
DJ has become an honorary member of more than 3,000 agencies around the country.
Well, the high cost of breast cancer screenings could be putting people in jeopardy in South Carolina.
But there is a new bill at the State House that is trying to make follow-up testing a little more affordable. 7 News State House reporter Caroline Yaffa has details.
While mammograms are usually covered for those with insurance, follow-up tests like MRIs and sonograms can sometimes cost women hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars out of pocket. But a bill in the State House would change that.
I can't continue to have this weight and this cost on my family.
In South Carolina, initial screenings for many women are usually covered. But if a doctor recommends additional testing, patients can be stuck with high costs.
I have children. We're looking at college, looking at all the things that may come up in their lives, and I want to be able to support them. And so this is just a roller coaster ride that a lot of people are on.
Supporters say this will help with early detection.
If we can detect cancer early, stage 1, 2, then we know that we have a more successful chance of quality of life and overall outcome for the patient.
If you do not know that the abnormality that's found in your mammogram, if you don't know what that is because you don't have money to pay for that follow-up care, then you could be diagnosed at a late stage.
The bill in the State House would require private insurers to cover all subsequent medically necessary diagnostic tests with no copays, deductibles, or coinsurance.
Cancerous or there's a tumor that's benign, you will not know without the follow-up care. So it's something that you have to know. You have to know it. So it's so important so you can have a great quality of life.
The American Cancer Society says more than 25 states already have laws requiring some form of insurance coverage for breast imaging beyond initial screenings.
In Columbia, Caroline Yaffa, 7 News.
Lawmakers don't go back to the State House to debate and vote on bills until January of 26.
Continuing coverage now, Anderson County voters will see a sales tax increase question on the ballot for the 3rd time this November. 7 News' Lauren Miller spoke with leaders and residents about the proposal.
Scottsbridge Road in Anderson County is one of the few hundred projects that need attention, according to county leaders. But providing the money to fix roads like this is up to the voters.
We have 1,553 miles of road in Anderson County, which is a super large amount of roads, and they're all in bad shape.
Anderson County receives about $4 to $6 million in state funding every year, but that plus property taxes is not enough to fix roads and bridges, says County Deputy Administrator Matt Hogan.
Off the top, once we get property taxes, so much goes to the school, fire, EMS. We have to fund all those, and what's left over in our general fund, which is very little, comes back to our road maintenance.
Hogan says the 1% sales tax would generate $38 million and would all go towards roads and bridges, unlike previous years when it was proposed to go towards things like parks and recreation and buildings.
It's no parks, it's no buildings, it's strictly transportation. It's what we need the most. Our roads are horrible. We know that. We hear that every day, several times a day.
It's the 3rd time voters like Rhett Donaldson would see this type of tax proposal. He says he would vote in favor once again.
We can't continue to grow and prosper without having roads that are suitable to travel on, and a lot of the roads around here are getting past that point.
However, others worry that taxing retail and restaurant establishments could hinder the growth and sustainability of local businesses.
As far as hitting the small businesses, I think with the insurance and every other tax that we have to pay here in Anderson City just alone, I think it's going to be a negative impact for the consumer and for us as a small business.
If passed, the sales tax would continue for 8 years. In Anderson County, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
County leaders tell us they will tackle projects in order of priority. You can check out that list on our website.